You know, it's been a little bit since I've reported on a Canada Man story. Well, we've got one that involves Pokemon cards and a high-speed chase straight out of Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto style police chase ends in car crash as wanted men throw Pokemon cards out the window. They sat there, they tried to summon their best Pikachu. They tried to throw a Charizard out the window. They were so high as a kite that when they threw the card out the window thinking it was a Pokeball, a little pocket monster would pop out and actually attack the police cars. That didn't happen because they weren't keeping their eyes on the road as they crashed the vehicle in this high-speed chase. Let's take a good look at this story. Police in Alberta, Canada, my home province of Canada in Alberta, arrest a couple of suspected drug dealers after a dangerous car chase that involves stolen Pokemon cards and contraband being thrown from the vehicle. Crimes involving Pokemon cards have all become all too common occurrence, with numerous instances of people being robbed of their cards, sometimes even at gunpoint. The latest story, however, is the wildest one. Have you heard? I haven't heard of anyone actually literally having a gun pulled on them for their Pokemon cards. This is insanity. This is the world of trading cards now, where you have a gun pulled on you. I've never heard of that, and I've been in this game. I've been playing Magic the Gathering for 30 damn years. This is absolutely insanity to even read something like this. This is where our society is going now, that cash is no longer what you're robbing people for. You need to get that Charizard. You need to get that Squirtle out of that Pokemon ball. You must throw down. At 2:30 in the morning on September 5th, police spotted a red Mazda SUV driving without its lights on and soon discovered this car had been stolen. Go surprise, most stolen cars lead to a drug dealer or something like that. You're driving down in the morning, no lights on. The police see that you drive past an intersection without lights on. They're going to look at you. A chase then followed, with the vehicle even nearly coming onto a head-on collision with officers, while the men inside threw stolen Pokemon cards and drugs out the window. That's right. We got to get away from these cops. We got to throw the cocaine out the window, throw the bag of weed, throw the Pikachu at them. Just do whatever possible to try and distract the cops, because you're going to jail. You're going to jail, son. Well, whatever. They go to jail. They get booked. They go to jail. They'll be out in a couple hours. That's the way the system works right now in Canada. It's absolutely ridiculous. Police recover Pokemon cards after chaotic chase with alleged drug dealers. Constable Bonnie of the Cochrane RCMP said that the officers had to take action as the car was putting members of the public at risk. At 2:30 in the morning, there's not many people on the road. Thankfully, they were able to stop them. The vehicle was driving quite dangerously, endangering the public and almost causing a head-on collision with police. The officers were given permission to deploy a tire deflation device. Look at that. Look at that. You got a couple ounces of whatever this is. I'm guessing that's a stolen credit card. For you, yours, what? Oh, it just says for you in French. What is that card? Did someone use this $25 card yet? That's kind of interesting. It's a vanilla $25 MasterCard that looks fake to begin with. But yeah, like they've got a Pikachu here. Like, are these cards actually that valuable? Once the tire deflation device stopped the car, one of the males inside began making a run for it and resisted arrest, but officers were able to bust him. This was going on. The driver tried to play GTA in real life while trying to get away by driving off, but the car was damaged and ended up crashing into a fence. He was apprehended shortly afterwards with no civilians being hurt. Inside the car, police found more drugs, stolen tools. As for the Pokemon cards, the police say some of the dealers pay each other with them. This is what's going on now. Instead of using cash, they're using trading cards to now trade for the value. So you know, I've always heard of these places, these local game shops where people go there and they play. well, high as a kite on Adderall, and that's how they get through the game. But now they're becoming a front for this type of thing. This is absolutely absurd. This is not the norm. I'm going to say this right now. This is not the normal thing at a local game store. Most local game stores are quite safe. They don't have this type of influence around them. It's absolutely ridiculous to hear something like this. Two men in their 40s, Derek McInnes and Jason Wilkening, were reprimanded into custody. McInnes is charged with possession. That makes absolutely no sense. He's charged with possession of property obtained by crime over $5,000. How much Pokemon cards did they have? It's got to be the weapons adding up to that much. Meanwhile, had a Canadian-wide warrant and charged with possession of property obtained in crime of $5,000 or more. Yeah, that's absolutely insanity. So, you know, this is something you don't see every day, and I had to pick it up. I had to pick this up as a story. $5,000 worth of Pokemon cards or whatever they had on them. They're going to jail, probably be out in a couple hours, like I said. It's an open door policy for a lot of these things right now. But, you know, I gotta say, are people actually trading cards now for drugs? Because that's something that's new to me. That's news that I haven't heard about yet. And that means that all the thefts we see with these card stores getting knocked off for their cards, that to me sounds more like organized crime. That sounds like people are doing this for drug money, which is absolutely asinine. You know, I know here in Edmonton we have people that will steal your bike tire spokes, like the rim of your bike tire, and they're using it as trade value on the streets right now. It's absolutely asinine to hear about it. But now we've got trading cards in the mix. We're hearing trading cards are now the new currency for drug runners. That's absolutely insanity to even hear about. That's not cool. Honestly, that's not cool. And that gives a new level of watch your back when you're in a store, because that means some people are there and they're just going to grab your deck and run. Like that's not what I want to be reading, especially here in Alberta. I'm in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I've been here all my life, and hearing this now is absolutely disheartening. It's a struggle nonetheless to even hear about. You know, I remember one of the last times I played in an LGS, a fight almost broke out on the street. But, you know, the LGS I went to was a known area of town where there's a ton of traffic. Like, we're talking tons of traffic for where I was. And it's a normal everyday occurrence when you hear people screaming and yelling at each other at like 8 o'clock at night on a Friday night when the bars are in full detail. Like, that's not unheard of on where I was playing. But this is a whole new level. Hearing that they're using cards now as ways of doing drug deals. That's absolutely asinine to me. Anyway, I'm your Proud Canadian Phoenix Cineshadow signing off here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon.